5 RPG hidden gems to look into during the Steam Winter Sale. First up, we have Dread Delusion, an open-world RPG that seems to take some inspiration from games like Morrowind, with a very alien landscape full of mushroom trees, unique enemy designs, and whatever the hell this thing is. With a leveling system that relies strictly on exploration instead of grinding enemies for hundreds of hours for experience. This is probably one of my favorite indie games that I have played this year. So if this looks like the kind of game that might interest you, it is definitely one that I would personally recommend, and is on sale right now for $13.39 USD on Steam. Just a fair warning though, this game is still in early access, so there is still some content to be added, and some of the content that is already there might end up changing in the future. Number 2, we have The Quest, another indie RPG that seems to take some inspiration again from the Elder Scrolls series. The Quest is essentially what happens if you take Daggerfall and combine it with a first-person grid-based dungeon crawler. In The Quest, you will be tackling unique puzzles and dungeons, you can play card games if you want to, and freely explore this large open world. This is probably one that won't be for everybody, but if you are a fan of classic RPGs or blobbers, then this might be one to keep your eye on, and it can be picked up right now on Steam for only $5. Coming in at number 3, we have Outward Definitive Edition, which is on sale right now for only $8. Now, I'm kind of on the fence as to whether or not to call this one a hidden gem, because it does have a bit of a cult following behind it, but I still wanted to share this one, as I don't hear too many people talk about it. In Outward, instead of playing as the typical chosen one, instead you'll be playing as an absolute nobody, trying to find their own path in this unique yet deadly world. Survive out in the wilds from disease, hunger, thirst, temperature, weather, and exhaustion. You will need to craft supplies, loot everything that you can find, and explore the vast open world in order to survive, with Souls-like combat and a very unique ritualistic magic system where you have to actually combine runes and spells with certain items in order to cast certain spells. It's difficult not to recommend this game to any RPG lover out there. At number 4, we have Lunacid, which is coming in at $11.19. Lunacid is a first-person dungeon crawler inspired by old FromSoft games like Shadow Tower and Kingsfield. This one's kind of an interesting one because the game actually has a mechanic called lunacy, which, depending on the actual real-life moon phases, will affect things like your XP gain, damage taken, and magic damage dealt. And it does seem like there are other things in-game that are not just stat-related, that are affected by the moon phases. So if you're a fan of old school games like Kingsfield, or if you're just looking for another indie dungeon crawler with some unique mechanics to delve into, then Lunacid might just be for you. And finally, coming in at number 5, we have Kenshi. So this is another one that I'm hesitant to call a hidden gem, as it does also have a bit of a large following. But even so, I feel I don't really hear a lot of people talk about this one either. So Kenshi is a free-roaming squad-based RPG focusing on open-ended sandbox gameplay instead of having a linear story. Instead, you will make your own story. If you want to play solo and live your life as just a normal, everyday citizen in one of the large nations, then you can do that. If you want to be a traveling merchant or a bounty hunter or a simple farmer, you can also do that. And if you want to recruit a few characters, chop off their limbs, replace them with more superior robotic limbs, recruit a few hundred more allies and build your own nation, create trade routes, and overthrow the entire nation to become the supreme overlord of the world, well then you can do that. It is a very open-ended sandbox that lets you choose how you want to play the game. Just be warned that this game is very challenging, and it will kick your ass, and you will likely lose hours of progress by making even the simplest of mistakes. Well guys, that was my 5 RPG hidden gems that I personally think that you guys should probably look into during the Steam Winter Sale. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, then be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and if you decided to pick up any of these games, or if you've already played some of these hidden gems, then leave your own thoughts on the games in the comments below. Anyways, that's it for me for tonight. You guys have a good one, and I will see you guys in the next video of whatever I decide to make.